What's going on, Pokemon fam, YouTube fam? Hope you're having a great day today, guys. I made this video about 5 times. I hope I get it on the sixth time. Sixth time is the charm. I hope I don't mess up in this video. Anyways, I hope you're all doing well, guys. So this video is going to have a lot of value. I hope you guys stay and learn something from this because, again, I want to give you guys some good value out of this channel. And I want to go ahead and just, cut to the chase and just be real with you guys and just not, fluff and buff these videos. So we're gonna be talking about two different things. Number one, it's gonna be very, very, very brief. We're gonna be talking about liquidating all my inventory for my Pokemon singles. No, I'm not gonna liquidate the sealed product. Okay, the sealed product is long term. I've been accumulating over the last few months. I am not liquidating that. That's not what I'm talking about. But I am gonna liquidate the singles back here. It's back here. You guys can't see behind my chair, but I'm holding about 500 singles. So it's time to let go of them and just basically just sell them and auction all of it off on eBay. The reason why I'm doing that, guys, is because right now it's just dead capital. I have dead capital in my inventory. It's the value on paper was $4,000, but honestly, it's probably valued at maybe $2,000, and I'll go ahead and explain why. So the reason why I would say on paper, because I'm looking at it right now, the singles, my entire eBay inventory itself is worth $4,000. Hindsight, when I go to sell everything, it's probably gonna be worth $2,000. The reason why, guys, is because back in March and April, you guys remember the tariffs? You guys remember the tariffs back then, 9 months ago, Liberation Day? Um, that was a curveball for the business. That was a curveball, and I ended up not seeing that coming for at least TCG, Pokemon singles. The Pokemon singles industry just sold off very heavily, and still a lot of singles that are still in correction territory that haven't recovered yet. Um, yeah, I sustained that correction, and I'm pretty sure like the inventory is worth half of what it was worth prior before the tariffs, and that was a curveball. I'm sure it was a curveball for a lot of businesses out there, right? Including mine. So now that I have all this dead capital, $2,000 is not really that much money, but I can use that money to invest in something else, right? And then clear out all the dead junk product that I have back there, which a lot of it's not junk, by the way. I have a lot of Prismatic Evolution singles. I have a lot of Surging Spark singles, a lot of Sword and Shield singles. It's not junk, but it's just dead capital right now. And honestly, I can put that capital into good use and make that money back. I'm not tripping about that money that I lost, like value wise. I'm not tripping on that money because I know I'll make that money back and then a lot more in the future, right? I just don't want to hold on to the singles because it's a lot of singles. It's taking up a lot of space, and it's just time. It's just time to get rid of all of it, right? Um, and so before I get into my learning lessons, guys, I know people are gonna probably be very curious. Oh, did I make money the last 3 years since I started this eBay? Started selling on eBay and everything like that. Did I make money? Of course I made money. And let me tell you, I think Pokemon gets a bad rap when it comes to selling Pokemon, just anything in general, when it comes to LGSs, and selling sealed products, selling singles, flipping singles, whatever the case may be. Honestly, let me tell you this, right? In the last 3 years, my initial capital that I started off with, I remember the exact amount that I started off with. I tripled that. I tripled that money in 3 years. Okay. Let me tell you something. If you triple your money in the stock market or you triple your money in business or wherever the case may be, that's extremely good. That is not even good. That's phenomenal. So when I see comments of people saying, oh, you're only making 5% profit, you're only making 10% profit. Yes. But I'm also doing that at a high volume, high velocity, right? And that's why I've sold almost like 10,000 singles in the last 2, 3 years, guys. I mean, you can go on my eBay, you can see how many my lifetime solds on my eBay. It's a lot. It's very high volume. And you're continuously doing 10% profits, 5% profits, and you're continuously doing that every single day, every single week, and that compounds over time. So I've tripled my money the last 3 years, and over time, I have taken profits out of my business accounts. I've taken profits. I remember there's been probably a few times where I've taken cash out of my business account, and I have bought different investments outside of Pokemon. And so the debt capital that I have back there Yeah, it's down 50%, but I've already took most of the profits and I've already allocated elsewhere. So I'm not even tripping. I'm not even mad that I lost 50%. I probably lost 50%, right? I'm not tripping, okay? Again, I have the skill of flipping. The skill itself, is going to compound over time. So, anyways, I just wanted to just go ahead and cover that because I know there's be a bunch of people on the comments saying, "Oh, Pokemon's not profitable. You're only making $3, per card, or you're only making $5, every single day." Shut up. Like literally, just shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. If that's your mindset, then don't watch this video. Go somewhere else. Okay. If you're trying to learn something, then just learn, or just listen to what I have to tell you because I'm saving you years. I'm saving you years of mistakes because I learned them the hard way. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the first one. So the first mistake was overallocation. The reason why I overallocated was because I got complacent, and the complacency is what cost me to lose half the value of that of what remains my eBay inventory, right? So overallocation, cockiness, complacent, whatever you want to call it, right? The reason why I overallocated was like I said because the Pokemon and TCG, I don't know about Magic. I'm sure Magic has high volume and other TCGs, but at least for Pokemon, very high volume. Things sell very quickly. Very quickly. If you run a Pokemon store or you flip cards, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just 100 miles per hour, guys. As soon as you list, literally all the cards are gone. People are just buying nonstop, right? Literally, it doesn't matter if it's a bear market or if it's a bull market. It's literally just nonstop buying. Um, yeah, I didn't have a budget. I was over allocate. I would be buying $4,000 worth of product, $5,000 worth of product, $6,000 worth of product every single week, and I was doing this weekly. And I was making the money back, and I was just making a lot of profits. Like, I honestly, it literally felt like it was just a money printer. It really kind of did. It felt like a money printer. Um, a lot of work because you're packing, you're listing, you're doing all that. It's a lot of work. You're not just sitting around doing nothing. You're doing a lot of work. You're doing 12 hours a day, if you're being serious with it. But yes, I over allocated, which basically I got caught in the correction of March and April, which caused the inventory to be dead right now, right? So over allocation, you want to have a budget, and you want to have a spending budget every single week, and then grow the budget over time as your revenue increases, as your profits increase. You can continuously reinvest back in the business. You can always up the budget, but don't ever go above the budget because again, at some point there will be a market correction. Whether there was tariffs or no tariffs, there would have been a market correction either way. So be very careful with over allocation, guys. Number two, I didn't use leverage. This is another mistake. And I always preach to people on this channel that, using leverage, you should not be using leverage. And leverage is very, very, very dangerous, especially if you don't know what you're doing. And, for the most part, I know what I'm doing. I could have borrowed against my capital. I could have used 20%, borrowed 20%, or borrowed against my capital at 20% and use that 20% on a credit card, take the credit card, buy the stuff that I need, and then buy the stuff that I need and sell it and make the profits, do all that. And then take the other capital, my initial capital, and do something else with it. I could have invested somewhere else. I could have bought Pokemon Seal product, whatever the case may be. Using someone else's money is not a bad thing if you're careful, if you know what you're doing, and you have the cash reserves. Just in case you can't make or just in case you come up short in a given month, right? You can always go in your cash reserves and pay off the remaining balance of whatever you owe for that particular month. So not using leverage went against me at this time. So um, we'll go ahead and go to the next one. So number three, never taking profits on every lot. Now this is what screwed me. Okay, so let's say for example I bought $5,000 worth of product in 1 week. Literally, I would make that $5,000 back within a few days, no problem. Everything else that remains of that lot, okay? Because keep in mind, guys, I'm buying lots at 75%, 80% market price, right? Okay, these are these buyers that I'm buying off of, or not buyers, sellers that I'm buying off of, are willing to, you know, give their, let their collections go for that amount, right? That margin, that 20% margin or 50% margin is what I make, right? And that shows up in the leftover inventory that you have after you get your initial capital back, if that makes sense, okay? The leftover inventory is your profits. And I never took profits on the leftover inventory. I guess like right off the bat, I never took profits right off the bat. That was my mistake. Okay, I took profits, during the time, but I never took it like right off the bat. That's something I should have done, was take profits on every single lot. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say for example, I have 100 cards. Okay, and let's say I sell 70 cards, 70. Okay, and I make my money back, and then the 30 left over, the 30 singles that are left over, is a straight up profit. That was the time where I should have just sold everything, sold that remaining, you know, uh, the remaining lot, auction it off on eBay, and take that cash and put it somewhere else. That's what I should have done. Instead, I got complacent. Instead, I was like, oh well, it'll sell at some point. It would sell at some point. I'm not worried about it. Again, market corrections happen. You end up getting stuck with it, and that's just how business works, guys. So not taking profits on every single lot was a huge mistake. I should have done that. I should have cleaned out everything on that entire lot. Move on to the next one, right? That's what I should have done instead of just holding it and assume that someone's going to buy it down the road. That was a mistake. Mistake number 4: never having sealed inventory as an investment. That's what screwed me. Because again, all these have screwed me. Not having sealed inventory as a card store. I don't care if you're at an LGS. I don't care if you have an online business. Those profits that you take out of your business, you take those profits. Either one or two things you're going to do. You're going to reinvest it back into the business, okay? Or you buy other investments, okay? I don't care what it is. But for sealed inventory was a big one for me because the amount of returns that you saw in English this past bull market were absolutely insane. That was absolutely insane. The bull market we just had. Now, I don't know if we're still in that bull market, but now that things are cooling off. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to make that same mistake ever again. I'm buying sealed at this point right now. You guys, all the videos I've been making, I've been talking about buying sealed product, and holding on to some sealed product. That's on purpose. I'm doing that deliberately because not having sealed inventory at all, it's going to cost you literally thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. I could have took all my profits that I made during the last 2-3 years, and I could have bought all the sealed product in the world because it's always on sale. Facebook Marketplace, eBay, TCG Player, you can always get the stuff on the secondary market. Unfortunately, I never built a sealed inventory as an investment, and that literally cost me hundreds of thousands probably. So learning lesson. Don't make these mistakes cost you time and cost you missed opportunities. Missed opportunities are actually, in my opinion, missed opportunities are worse than you losing money. Like me losing 50% on the inventory, whatever. I don't care. I've already took profits, most of my profits out anyways, but whatever, right? But imagine if you have the feeling that I have right now where I could have just took all the profits and I could have 10x that profit. Like literally on those profits, I could have 10x all that capital on top of sealed inventory. I didn't. And that's what costs you the opportunity and hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions, depending on how much capital you have. So yes, have sealed inventory, have sealed product on the side, no matter what. Okay. And number 5 is very simple: AI automation. AI automation, obviously, like AI has been kind of on the peak. Uh, the whole euphoria of AI was not really present back in 2023 and 2024, but it is present now in 2025. But this is really not a mistake, but this could be a mistake if I don't pay attention. But basically, having AI automated into my business is going to be the thing that's going to propel me forward, and scale this business a lot bigger than I originally did the last 3 years. Mainly, I'm gonna be using the AI to list my cards. Listing takes a lot of time, and if I'm able to list all my cards within a minute or 5 minutes, whatever, how long, if I can list 100 cards in 5 minutes, wow, that saves you so much time. And the scalability on that is unlimited, in my opinion. So don't make the mistake of sleeping on AI. Find ways to automate your business. Find ways to automate not just Pokemon, but just any business. Whatever business model you have, find a way to automate it with AI. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. It's a 15-minute video. Hope you guys learned something from this. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace.